right here.
Emergencies are unpredictable, but you don't have to be unprepared. Peak Alerts sends you targeted emergency alerts in real time for the places that matter to you most, so you know what's happening and what to do next. Know first, act fast. That's the power of Peak Alerts.
Morning, crew. It is Monday. It is February 2nd. It's a weird month to say. You ever thought about that? Thanks for joining me here on Mornings with Meister on Peaks2Plains Weather every Monday through Friday morning at 6:30. It is good to be with you. I'm going to start off with this, crew, because today is not my favorite day of the year. Damn Groundhog. Whipped this up last night. This is sort of, me and every other meteorologist behind the... everybody has fun with it, right? I'm just kidding. This is kind of a, tongue-in-cheek sort of, I think it did see its shadow, so 6 more weeks of winter. I looked for about 2 seconds. So it's not my favorite day of the year, but let me tell you why it also is my favorite day of the year. It is my baby girl's birthday. It is Whitney Meister's 18th birthday today. How my youngest is 18, I have no idea. This is last week. We went to the doctor to get her cast off of her hand. She had thumb surgery, played high school flag football last couple of years at the Classical Academy, and they won the state championship this year. Whitney was the leading tackler on the team. So proud of her. But in their preseason scrimmage, she actually messed her thumb up, just taped it up all year, played hurt, got it done. So Witter's happy birthday. She decided in the last 10 days where she is going to go to college. We are so proud of her and so excited of the young woman that she is becoming, and she's amazing. So happy birthday, baby girl. I'm just happy for everything that's happening for you. Let's talk real quick about today. Temperature's not starting off too bad. It's mild in Colorado Springs at 43, Canyon's at 44. Notice the differences out there. Springfield's 41, Eads is 22, and it's 6 in Gunnison. Super easy to forecast the weather here in Colorado, I tell you what. Man, oh man, oh man, it is going to be a different day out there today. And here's why. The temperatures won't be too different than yesterday, but see those clouds overhead through the first part of the day? That is going to make it feel pretty different out there in addition to something else, and I'll come back to our more detailed part of the forecast in a little bit. I want to let you know about a couple things I did over the weekend. I had the opportunity to MC the Front Range Space Force Ball on Friday night. It was at Hotel Polaris. So honored to be with the Guardians, the airmen, all of the civilian contractors that support the important work that the newest branch of the American military does. Not just to support the joint force and what they do, but to be war fighters on some of the new frontiers of battle that happen. And I was honored to meet a lot of folks. Liam and his wife came up. We took a picture and said hi. And so I was really, really honored to do that. It was so fun. 6th birthday of the Space Force. Semper Supra crew. We toasted lots of military members, the commander-in-chief and everything. It was a fantastic time. So that was one of the things I did over the weekend. One of the other things I did over the weekend was we wrapped up our taping for this season for Rocky Mountain Quiz Kids. Fox 21 let me back in there. The finals was between the Red-Tailed Hawks of Cheyenne Mountain and the Titans of the Classical Academy. That episode does not air for a while, so I'm not going to tell you who won. But it was pretty cool to be a part of that, and kind of a shame, actually, that I was inside yesterday because it was such a dang nice day. So I'm going to head over to the weather wall here, and I am going to do a little bit of our forecast, and then I'll come back. We'll get some of your messages, and we'll kind of do some additional weather here. But let's talk about how nice it was yesterday. It was incredible, not just because the temperatures were so nice. It was 57 in Salida, 68 for Canyon. We nicked 60 in the Springs, almost hit 70 in the southeast corner of the state, but we had the sun out there. We had hardly any wind. So whether you were over the peaks, whether you were over the plains, see what I did there? It was super, super nice day. I mean, truly, for the time of year, just about as good as it can be. Things have changed up overnight, though. See on satellite here, the back edge of these clouds, how they're kind of not moving as this batch of high cloud cover moves in from the west. We've got this ridge of high pressure here. Wave clouds have formed, and they are going to be thick at times through the morning in particular, and probably for a lot of us, at least until about 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. See how Skycast really isn't changing that up? I don't care what the temperature is this time of year. If high clouds are overhead, and particularly if they are thick at all, it just doesn't feel as nice as the thermometer might be indicating. But that's not the only thing that's going to impact the field today, my friends. We get a cold front to come in from the north, and as we head into the afternoon, it picks up the breezes in some cases between 10 and 20 miles per hour. And where that happens, you combine that with the clouds, it's just not going to feel like yesterday. I mean, the temperatures don't change too much. Only dropping a handful of degrees here, maybe 5 or 6 with that front coming in. But you throw that on top of those 2 other things that I mentioned, it's going to be a different feeling day for sure. So I want you to be ready for that and aware of that, even though the temperatures are still going to be about 15 to 25 degrees above seasonal averages. It's just not yesterday. I mean, it's not. It's going to feel different. So grab a coat out there for today, or I think you are going to be kind of regretting your decision there. So we also have some things to talk about in the extended forecast, and I will come back to that here in just a little bit. I want to say hi to some folks here this morning who are checking in with us. We've got Jennifer saying happy birthday to my daughter. Then Jennifer, thank you so much. Cute little dog there too. And Jack says that it is my youngest daughter's 33rd birthday too. So look at that. A few people celebrating birthdays out there today. Jennifer also says that it is her daughter's 23rd birthday. So happy birthday to everybody today. What a interesting day. Well, you know what? For Whitney, it's a little bit different probably than Jennifer and Jack's offspring, because, you know, Whitney has this weird weather tie-in. So I'm kind of like torn on the day, as I started off with. Jennifer says, happy birthday, Whitney, and good morning. Good morning, Jennifer. Good to see you. Kira has kind of a fun message here. Says, my daughter was a kid caster exactly 2 years ago. I remember that. She was on there. She doesn't believe a rodent should forecast the weather either. And that was an important memory for her. So glad we could do that. And somebody says, oh boy, it is Monday. Kathy, I'm with you. Good morning, my friend. Nancy saying good morning from West Cliff, so thanks for tuning in early this morning, Nancy. I appreciate that. I want to talk about something else here with the weather. So we've got a little bit of a change on the way for tomorrow. I talked about the cold front coming in today. Let me show you what I mean here, because it's going to be a little bit different out there tomorrow. I mean, the temperatures won't be as warm as how we're starting off today. The places that are in the 40s up against the foothills will be in the 20s and 30s. So I see a Colorado Springs and Canyon City. And not that the numbers are bad tomorrow for the time of year. I mean, I think we'll still be around 50 in the Springs, but we drop another step down kind of from what we have today. And part of the reason for that is that there is another cold front coming into the area. So I'm going to start us off here as we look at the big picture at 6 o'clock tonight. See this red up to the north as we head into early tomorrow morning up in Montana? Well, that's a wave that's going to dive south across Colorado as we move into tomorrow night and early Wednesday morning. And that one is going to bring us a little bit of different weather here as we move from late in the afternoon tomorrow into tomorrow night. So I do think we get a little bit more sun to start the day, but notice that the mountain areas start to pick up some snow up around Monarch, up to the north for Aspen, up across the I-70 resorts here. That's the leading edge of that wave coming in. And as it continues to drop south as we move into the afternoon tomorrow and then into the evening, it brings some instability with it. There's also a little bit of a jet streak with it. So notice how you see some streaks of some showers here on Skycast, kind of oriented from northwest to southeast. Those things are fun to forecast because they hit some areas and not others. And if you're underneath one of them, that tends to last for a while, because if you're under that northwest to southeast oriented streak and it kind of stays over you for a little bit, you can get some different weather than some of your neighbors. And so as we move from Tuesday night into Wednesday morning, we see some of that stay around the area. And notice how they're kind of focused over the terrain features, which isn't that big of a surprise. Then we head into early Wednesday morning and we're kind of getting that out of here. This is one of those situations where I'm not going to say expected snow amounts, but potential snow amounts. So some of us might get a quick inch or two of snow. And I think the areas more likely to do that than others are some of the terrain features, the Palmer Divide, slopes of Pikes Peak, and also down across the Raton Mesa once you get south of the Arkansas River. And so again, this is kind of late afternoon tomorrow into tomorrow evening and early Wednesday morning. Not a guarantee, something we'll watch for, and I will certainly have a lot more about that here over the next 24 hours. I'll kind of keep an eye on it because it's going to be kind of hit and miss stuff. So if you can wrap your head around thunderstorms, you're kind of on the right track, right? Everybody gets that. One neighborhood catches a thunderstorm, another neighborhood doesn't. And that's kind of how this is. So, you know, it's a good opportunity here for Peaks2Plains Weather to, you know, maybe do some live stuff as we get the radar coming in late tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow night, because I do think some of us could get some visibility issues, and then, you know, might be a quick accumulation of snow on the roads. So, all right, let's check it out. Flying Horse North, Mark Barton. Oh, yeah, you know him. That's Maverick and Goose there. is always on Peaks2Plains Weather. Thanks, Mark, for checking in. Of course, they are one of the sponsors of Peaks2Plains Weather, and we appreciate that. Steven says, good morning from Pueblo. Thank you so much, Steven. Barb says, we are watching. Yeah, you know, the crew is growing. Peaks2Plains Weather is about our weather together. And when the weather's active, you can come on the show and you can help me cover the weather. In fact, you know, I have a funny story here. I should tell you this. So on Friday morning, I was doing the show here, and my son Nathan, he got on because he has the permalink. He can come on anytime he wants, right? And I kind of missed it. I didn't see that he was on, and so he was giving me a really, really hard time. And it reminded me of one of my things that I need to do. So when you come into the show, and again, I put the links there today. I do it every day. They don't change. So if you write it down, you can just put that into your web browser on your desktop or on your phone, and you can come on Peaks2Plains Weather. One of the things I need to do is when someone joins that, I need to give me a notification on the screen so that I can see that. I try to keep my eye on it, but I kind of, get talking and trying to do a show here. So that's one of the things I'm going to do. So when somebody joins, it'll automatically let me know, and then I can bring them on. So that's your invitation for you today. If you want to come on, you are welcome to. You can ask some questions. We can just have a little bit of fun as well. And that's something that, you can do anytime you want. So I'm going to do something about our extended forecast here, because last week I posted why I think we're going to get a little bit more active here into the middle part of the month. So I'm going to go back over to the weather wall, and I'm going to do our extended forecast. Now, you tell me that these two are not related to me. This is my brother Jeff and my nephew Sebastian. See the relation? You probably see it in, not maybe so much the eyes, because I have my mom's eyes. Jeff has my dad's eyes, and I think Sebastian has my dad's eyes too. But you can see it in the, right? Yeah, I'm related to them. They live in Greenville, South Carolina, which had some snow over the weekend. In fact, Sebastian gave me a weather report, and he's like, oh, it looks like 4 to 7 inches. And I'm like, oh, he's a trained meteorologist. Even after it fell, he's leaving himself some wiggle room. But it doesn't snow that much in that part of the country. He looks pretty miserable there when Dad was making him take a picture. Charlotte, North Carolina got one of their biggest snowstorms ever. On Saturday, they were their 4th all-time biggest snow. They had 11 inches that day. They had 18 in total. And it's probably not going to go anywhere for a lot of the week for them because temperatures are pretty chilly. That system is currently up across Newfoundland and Labrador in Canada as that now moves out of the area. There are some snow showers moving across the Great Lakes. Here's our system that'll impact us here as we head into the middle part of the week. In fact, that's the first one that goes away, and then here comes the second one, Tuesday night into Wednesday, that is going to bring us a chance of some snow. But let's start talking here about next week. Because once we get this midweek system out of here, see this bump in the black lines? Crew, that's another ridge of high pressure. And that means some quiet weather as we move toward the weekend. Now, over the weekend, we open the door for changes. Here's still the ridge. Again, this is the mid-level of the atmosphere, about 18,000 feet. And I watch the energy at that level of the atmosphere because it's kind of the middle of the troposphere. And that's where our weather occurs. So where you see the oranges and reds, that's where we have more energy in the atmosphere. And there is a system that's going to undercut the ridge here as we move through the weekend. It looks like that's pretty far to our south, though. And so I don't think that's going to do much to our weather at all, as long as it stays down there. And I'll keep an eye on that through the week. But look at next week. And this is what I posted on Peaks2PlainsWeather.com, social media last week, that we were going to get more active here. So we've got, as we head into Tuesday of next week, this next trough that has, for about a week and a half or so now, kind of looked like it's going to be closer to home. Not going to spend a lot of time on the details of that yet. It's just not worth it. It's out there. But we know there's something to watch, and there might be something behind that as well. So as I look at the extended forecast for Colorado Springs, behind that midweek system that late Tuesday and Tuesday night can bring us some showers, I think we'll be pretty quiet here as we roll through the weekend into early next week, and then we'll just have to see what happens with that system. As you know, snowpack is still historically low. We're still in the 0 percentile. We need some more snow, and we are hoping that that will give us some snow. because we certainly need it, like I said. So, crew, I'm going to take a real short break here, a message from one of our sponsors, and I'll be right back.
Another attorney commercial with big promises? Millions of dollars, practicing law 24 hours a day, blah, blah, blah. Let's get rid of the smoke and mirrors. None of that really matters. What does matter? Having a medical doctor as your attorney. That matters.
All right, so a couple more social media posts from you guys before we get out of here for the day. Roxanne says, who would have ever guessed 7 more weeks? I know, in early February, right? What a forecast to say, hey, you probably are going to have some more weather through February and early March. Hey, I'm with you, Roxanne. I know, I think it's silly. But, Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania sure gets a big tourism boost from it. So for that reason, they're pretty dang smart to do that. Ann says, good morning. Good morning, Ann. Lots of folks saying good morning. Stephen is watching in Pueblo early this morning. Jane is watching from Canyon City. So I appreciate it. Thank you all so much for supporting Peaks2Plains Weather, and it's something that I am enjoying doing, and you can help me spread the word. Please download the Peaks2Plains Weather app. That is the best way that I can take care of you when the weather is active. So as an example, when we talk about that snow coming in potentially for late tomorrow and tomorrow evening, I mean, think of this. I'm going to go back to the forecast here and show you why, you should download the app, okay? So here is
another
what
attorney
the
commercial
situation
with
could look like tomorrow in the late afternoon into the early part of the evening, okay? So we've got these showers. What if the visibility's down to, a couple hundred feet or something like that underneath one of these showers? In the Peaks2Plains Weather app, I can say, hey, Flying Horse North, I see you. If you're about to head out, be ready for changing conditions because one of these bands is sitting over you. Now, if you're in Ordway and you're not getting that, I'm not going to give you that message. I'm not going to give you that push alert because I know we all get so much in today's day and age, so much digital information that, I want to give you the things that are important to you. If one of these happens to hit Pueblo and you're heading home from a high school basketball game or wrestling or something like that, I can let you know. So that's one of the reasons you should share the Peaks2Plains Weather app with your friends and help it grow. I'll tell you that January was a fantastic month, first month of the business here. My new endeavor, my evolution into digital weather, surpassed all of my expectations for what I thought I might do in terms of how many people downloaded the app, how many people were watching Peaks2Plains Weather. So I'm excited about what the months ahead have, and am really having fun here with this. So, yeah. This will make you feel old. This is great. Steven says, been watching you since I was a kid. I'm now up in Wyoming. Still follow you, forever a fan. Steven, thanks for making my day. And not at the same time. Yeah. Makes me feel old. One of the funny things that has happened to me kind of related to that, I was in a second grade classroom. Oh, shoot, this was probably 5 years ago, 6 years ago, something like that. And the teacher was all excited because I had come to her class when she was in 4th grade. See this gray? Yeah. Been around a long time. My friends, thanks for joining me this morning. I appreciate it. Have a great day. Again, not as nice of a day out there today. If you're just joining us, high clouds and breezes going to make it feel a little bit different out there than what we had yesterday, even though the temperatures don't drop all that much. And that chance of some snow tomorrow afternoon into tomorrow evening could even be in the form mixed with rain over the plains. We'll see. It's not a particularly cold system, so that's something to watch for. I'll have more updates on that on Peaks2PlainsWeather.com, on the Peaks2Plains Weather app, and of course on social media through the day today. Have a good Monday. Take care, my friends. I'll see you tomorrow morning on Peaks2Plains Weather live at 6:30.